So Caesar had 60 conspirators stabbed 23 times, and I wonder if President Trump feels like that sometimes recently, huh? Well, now he's got to deal with Marjorie, as he says, Taylor Greene. But you see, everything you need to know is within her own resignation letter. Once again, the mainstream media, most pundits, or journalists as they like to call themselves, don't actually read the letter, or at least not in the right context. As many of you know, I like the psychology of politics. So I did, and I dissected it. And you'd be amazed at what you find within it. Because everything you need to know about what happened, what just happened, and what's about to happen is contained within it. And that's the story I'll bring you in just a few seconds. We'll get back to this portion, but President Trump had his take on it. Marjorie Taylor Greene, because of plummeting poll numbers and not wanting to face a primary challenge with a strong Trump endorsement, where she would have had no chance of winning, has decided to call it quits her relationship with the worst Republican congressman in decades, Thomas Massie of Kentucky, also known as Rand Paul Jr., because he votes against the Republican Party and really good legislation did not help her. For some reason, primarily that I refused to return her never-ending barrage of phone calls. Marjorie went bad. Nevertheless, I will always appreciate Marjorie and thank her for her service to this country. President Donald J. Trump. That posted this morning. But that's only a tip of the iceberg. He hasn't dissected the story yet, but we will here. But we got a little housekeeping to do first. Such as the FBI has concluded the Thomas Matthew Crooks saga. That's right. They put a pin in it. It's done. According to reports, at least according to Kash Patel, we fully briefed the president as a victim of this case at the White House, provided him all of the details of our investigation, and the president was satisfied with the results and where we left it. A lot transpired over the last 24 hours, huh? A lot of things coming to a head. A lot of things beginning and a lot of things ending. Within the letter, the resignation letter, that Marjorie Taylor Greene wrote, because she illustrates perfectly. Somebody should have really proofread it, because they should have known I would. And wait till you see what we found. But before I get there, and before I show you Dollar Store Obama absolutely explode, actually showing some non-robotic emotion, we have a very important word from our sponsor.
Now, browsing the internet without a VPN is like shouting your password in a crowded room. The VPN that I trust is private internet access because it literally hides your IP address and encrypts your internet connection, keeping hackers and snoopers out of your business. But here's the cool part. In Canada, Google and Facebook block Canadians from accessing news sites, while a VPN can help you stay informed by accessing content outside of your region. Here's what I mean. When I'm in Canada, I can watch news that was blocked simply by connecting to a different server. Here in the US, with PIA, just connect a server to your home country and you'll see the content you're used to wherever you are. With servers in 91 countries and all 50 states here in the US, PIA helps you access content from anywhere on unlimited devices. And the best part, you can get up to 83% off with 4 extra months free and just $2.03 a month. Try it risk-free right now with a 30-day money-back guarantee as well. All you got to do is go to www.piavpn.com/Lisa Haven below to protect your data and unlock your digital world. If you want more information, click the link in the description box below.
That's different. I'm talking about what you have now. Let's not go back to what's done in the past and what has not been extended. If you want to get something that has actually done, you need to do something that will have bipartisan.
You can ask me the question. You can ask me the question. I'll provide the answer.
Answer the question instead of going back. Let me realize that I don't think you want to get a deal done. I think this is something where you'd like to see the rates go higher and allow the Republicans to hang themselves with that. Is that the answer?
That's absolutely a ridiculous assertion.
The eye roll that shall become a meme forever. You see, when you make the man go off his robotic talking points, he has nothing left. But now you shall be seeing this forever. Your new GIF for the future Hakeem replies, because nothing personifies better than what people feel about the Democrats, especially when Dollar Store Obama has to come off again any scripted response. He has nothing. Nothing. But he proves it every day. Remember, he is the one who gave his endorsement for Zohran Mamdani. But then just yesterday, after you endorse Mamdani, what does he do? He votes with Republicans for a resolution to condemn socialism. So support Mamdani and then vote against socialism. Hakeem, you really have to pick a position. It's just so abundantly apparent now. You have no idea at all which... Oh, wait, that's right. You're a politician. Never mind. Forgot. How dare I? And then the saga of Hillary and Bill continues to gain steam now also. James Comer now pulling no punches. They didn't show up initially, remember. Democrats and Republicans approved subpoenas in July for Bill and Hillary. After good faith efforts to schedule depositions, further delays aren't acceptable. Given their Epstein ties, avoiding Congress would be in defiance of subpoenas and warrant contempt proceedings. Oh, because they chose not to show up. So he digs in a little bit deeper, letter going off just yesterday to their consul, stating, we've asked for them to show up and it's no longer acceptable that they don't. But something differs in this letter, because Comer takes a little bit different of a shot at the very bottom of the letter. The committee needs only conclude that deposing your clients would be helpful in advancing its investigation. Therefore, the committee does not find your argument against any in-person deposition in favor of written interrogatories compelling. Now, they need to be here. Additionally, your suggestion that your client's testimony would not be relevant to the stated purposes of this committee's investigation because the event in question took place outside the Clintons' respective official duties misses the committee's point. It is precisely the fact President Clinton and Secretary Clinton each maintain relationships with Mr. Epstein and Ms. Maxwell in their personal capacities as private citizens that is of interest to the committee. Ouch. I know that seems like a nuance, but it's actually a very critical one. One that Comer dropped on purpose. And if he follows through, contempt of Congress can result in jail time. Now, will that happen? Of course, none of us believe that ever will. But at least Comer's pushing forward. I know, Bill. A little creepy. Just look away for a moment. Sorry. Don't ever forget, and I guess don't ever give up the ship, right? Because this saga has taken on a whole new meaning, because remember they called for security of Capitol Police because of all the threats they're receiving, because of this message, and because of what President Trump stated to them? Well, now they've called the Capitol Police on President Trump. I'm right to report threats made by the President of the United States, Donald J. Trump, against Congressman Jason Crow. The first threat, as we know, was posted. We read it. I've covered it for the last 2 days on my channel. Please feel free to watch it. Lisa's covered it also. All of these posts by the President of the United States are intimidating, threatening, and concerning. After these messages by the President, our congressional office have seen a significant uptick in calls and emails with violent rhetoric and additional threats. We will continue to report those individually to the U.S. Capitol Police and ask that they be investigated immediately. Please advise receipt. See? They just turned into President of the United States of America, but when they did the same, when they claimed seditious conspiracy, did Trump call the Capitol Police on them?
And by inciting sedition, as he did yesterday, he must be removed from office. While it's only 13 days left, any day can be a horror show for America. So,
just want to make sure we remain consistent in the storylines. We must never forget, but we know the Democrats aren't a mess, from Hakeem Jeffries to what's happening now on Capitol Hill to the fact that maybe this plays in and the context of what Marjorie Taylor Greene said. I hope you've heard her message. It's rather lengthy, 10 minutes and 42 seconds. So what I'm going to do is, rather than read it verbatim, because I'm not going to waste 10 minutes and 42 seconds of your time, I'll leave a link in the description box below so you can read it yourself, and then, if you'd like, come back and listen to my interpretation of this message. Again, we do referenced and researched news, because the contradictions, the backpedaling, the hidden messages, the subtext, and the master pattern within this letter is astounding. I'm going to go through every detail of it, point by point. It actually won't take that long, but it will give you a completely different outlook on what's within this letter, which, by the way, isn't one page, it's not two, it's not three. Let's go with 4 pages long. Quite a resignation letter, huh? Oh no, I knew the minute I saw the length. This wasn't a resignation. It was a declaration. And I'll explain that in just one moment. Before I do, don't forget to help Lisa beat the algorithm. I need a favor from you. Make sure your bell is checked to all if you're already a subscriber here for Lisa. If you're new, welcome home. We'd love you to subscribe. Also, she'd love you to subscribe to our other channel, which is mine. She'll put a link above. Just click on it. It'll only take you a few seconds. And our home news platform is always Restricted Republic, which I'm going to continue this podcast, which I do upwards of 4 days a week, on top of the exclusive content. No commercials, no interruptions, because we got to talk about a few things today. Because you know Trump's inner circle turned on him? Oh, it's a story that just developed yesterday. And wait till I bring you the details of it at restrictedrepublic.com as we carry on. Make sure you get there today. Again, restrictedrepublic.com. But now let's get on with this story. So before I do the interpretation, remember Trump's new loathing of Marjorie Taylor Greene. Remember people talking that she may be thinking about a presidential run, although the odds are not in her favor. Remember suddenly she's all cozying up with the people on The View. Maybe she's looking for a TV spot. Remember now all of a sudden her and Ro Khanna are mighty close. Him saying Marjorie Taylor Greene is likely to be a formidable 2028 candidate. Her stances on Epstein, on regulating AI and anti-war are more in touch with MAGA voters than J.D. Vance. Ro Khanna advocating for Marjorie Taylor Greene over J.D. Vance. That seems like a divide and conquer technique. I don't know about you. If I'm cast aside by MAGA Incorporated and replaced by neocons, big pharma, big tech, military, industrial war complex, foreign leaders, and elite donor class that can't even relate to real Americans, and many common Americans have been cast aside and replaced as well. There is no plans to save the world or insane 4D chess being played. Wonder what she was referring to there. I know a lot of you do. She continued, when the common American people finally realize and understand that the political industrial complex in both parties is ripping this country apart, that not one elected leader like me is able to stop Washington's machine from gradually destroying our country, and instead the reality is that they, common Americans, the people, possessed a real power over Washington, then I'll be here by their side to rebuild it. Oh, thank you, Marjorie. Thank you so much. What are you posturing for, I wonder? Why is President Trump saying you went bad? Why is President Trump saying he thinks it's great news for the country and that it's great you resigned? Is it because of the threats you've been receiving after he outed you? Is it because we shouldn't forget that the date you chose to resign is 2 days after you get your congressional pension? I thought you were looking out for we the people. Oh, but that's after you get our money. Very convenient of you. You resigned on January 5th. Your pension kicks in on January 3rd, but it's not all about the money. But again, before I get down to the breakdown, you're joining a long list of figures now who've seemed to have broken with Trump, aren't you? From Tommy Lauren to Tucker Carlson to Candace Owens. And now you. Because this America First allegedly has been broken. A traitor, you stated, is an American who serves foreign countries and themselves. I covered this. A patriot is an American that serves the United States of America and Americans like the women standing behind me. So Trump is a traitor because he serves foreign countries and not the America First agenda. So all of you have turned against him because what he's doing by creating peace in foreign countries makes him a traitor. Okay. So Marjorie Taylor Greene just dropped her resignation letter. And let me tell you something. This wasn't a letter. This was a 6,000-word declaration of war, wrapped neatly inside a Hallmark card. For I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed. And oh, the contradictions, the backpedaling, and the quiet little daggers slipped under the table. We're going to unpack all of it, because this letter says a whole lot more than she thinks it does. Strap in. This is going to get really spicy, and actually a whole lot of fun. The outsider who voted like an insider. So MGG opens with this classic. I never fit in. They hated me in Washington. Really? Because right after that, she gives a laundry list of how faithfully she voted the company line. One of the most conservative voting records, always following the MAGA policy priorities, but sure, total rebel, lone wolf, outcast. It's like the quarterback claiming he never fit in with the rest of the team. Nobody's buying it. The system's broken, but only when it breaks her. She tells us Washington never worked for the American people. But both parties are corrupt, but both sides useless, both sides part of some giant political industrial machine. Fair, fine. That's a good critique. I don't disagree with that. But then spends half the letter bragging about how desperate she fought to elect Republicans every cycle. Hold on now. If both parties are destroying America, why is the entire resume based on electing one of those parties? Just asking for a friend. Something doesn't add up here. And you're not crazy for noticing it if you did. Just trying to help out what you noticed. The Trump loyalist who got left at the altar. Here's where it gets real. She painted herself as the most loyal foot soldier Trump ever had. The speeches, the travel, the courthouse theatrics, the personal sacrifices. And what does she get? According to her, a primary challenger backed by Trump, a threat over the Epstein files, a whole lot of backstabbing from the people she helped put into office. Translation, she was loyal until loyalty wasn't profitable for the people she was loyal to. And that's the core wound of this letter. But the biggest bombshell that nobody in the media is highlighting is the hidden message she slipped right through the middle of the page. The quiet accusation about foreign influence attached to the America First. You did catch that, right? Don't worry. I'll decode it for you. Because that's the line that got her politically disowned. She wrote, America First should mean America First and only America First, with no other foreign country ever being attached to America First. Quote, unquote. That wasn't so subtle, huh? That was a political grenade rolled slowly across the floor towards the very person she won't name. Because right now, a huge chunk of Trump's foreign policy and his priorities do heavily involve a certain Middle Eastern ally. Do you know who that is? Marjorie Taylor Greene signaling it very clearly, but won't name their name. I'm the real America First, she states. Not whatever foreign attached version the party is pushing. That's the line. That's the break. And she's not the only one recently, huh? There's some other people pushing that other so-named, not named Middle Eastern ally. That's the break point, not the Epstein files. Then we get to martyrdom. I've been attacked nonstop. I'm called a traitor. My family suffers. My district deserves better. The machine is unstoppable. It's the narrative rebranding of someone who knows that they're about to lose a primary, period, but wants to exit as a victim, not as defeated. That's not resignation. That's repositioning. That's preparing for the future. The real tell is her finale. When America wakes up, I'll be here by her side, their side, to rebuild it. Let me state that again. I'll be here. When America wakes up, I'll be here by their side to rebuild it. Yep, you got it. She ain't going home to farm goats. She's walking off the battlefield to build a new platform, probably media, maybe a PAC, maybe a splinter movement, maybe a book, because this wasn't a goodbye letter. This was a launch trailer. So let's call it what it is. Marjorie Taylor Greene didn't resign because she's done with politics. She resigned because she's done being controlled by the machine she helped to build. She resigned because the movement she championed doesn't consider her an asset anymore. And she resigned because her loyalty became a liability, not to America, but to the establishment wearing a MAGA mask. The contradictions, they weren't accidental. The backpedaling, that was strategic. And the hidden messages, those were warnings. Because when the political industrial complex starts eating its own, that's when you know something big is shifting under the surface. Does that make more sense as to what's happening right now? Because it's the first of many more to come. What do you feel the real message of Marjorie Taylor Greene's resignation was? Because it wasn't a resignation. And I just wanted to break it down for you in a little bit more detail. I love you all as I now prepare to kick into something that's going to be a little bit more uncomfortable than even this non-resignation letter. And it's those other Brutuses who aided in Russia, who Trump thought were on his side. If you're at Restricted Republic, remember the black and white tab of the colored version. If you're not at Restricted Republic, Lisa has one question for you. What are you waiting for? Join our news network there, restrictedrepublic.com. Right now, only take you a second. We'd love to see you there. Until next time, Godspeed and God bless. Justice Knight, signing out.